Well, we found something really awesome and unique at a value village out of town today. I'll show you that. I got an awesome gift from my buddy Dave. I'll show you that. But the main idea in the video is what the heck is the difference between the 1 of 18 scale BULLITT Charger and the 1 of 18 scale BULLITT Charger. This one's made by Greenlight / Auto World, who used an ERTL casting, ERTL Authentics casting. Oh, I just said it. So there you go, you know who's behind this one, but it's the ERTL Authentics casting. This is the old school ERTL casting. Just simple ERTL, came out about 2003 or 2, I believe. I can't remember because I'm tired. But I'm going to show you guys which one's the better one and what the differences are in them. Since the ERTL had a hand in both of them with the castings. Before we get started, awesome collecting story. So me, Dave, and Glenn, we go to Kitchener today on some completely unrelated business. We go to a Tim Hortons. Now this is how collectors work, smart collectors anyway. We go to a Tim Hortons, we don't know the area, across the parking lot's a Value Village. I had already been saying to one of them, either Dave or Glenn, check that out, we should check that out later. And then after Tim Hortons, Dave started bugging me. I think he said something like, oh, check Neil out. I know you want to go check Value Village. I said, yeah, let's go check it out, right? So we walk across the parking lot, go in Value Village, and something is sitting there that not only I've wanted for a long time, but Dave's wanted for a long time, and a lot of guys from my era have wanted for a long time. Check this out. Killer score made at Value Village. Even the chrome's not wore off. Everything works. That's amazing. Old school. Vintage Lasonic Ghetto Blaster from 1988. Funny thing was, said $99 on it. First thing we asked is, does it work? We had to wait there because some old lady was checking out costume jewelry. She was checking like every piece out. So finally we got a power cord into it, and the young girl, probably 20 years old, says, it doesn't work. We got it to power up, it lights up and everything. There was another man here earlier thinking about buying it. He said he's going to come back. He couldn't get it to work. We couldn't figure it out. It doesn't work. It's non-functioning. I say, okay, well, let's try it. Plug it in, and we're fiddling with it. I said to Dave, I said, look at this. The knob that you go from phono to tape, like, you know, all the little different modes, right? It's not all fancy digital, so I guess they didn't know how it worked. I literally went click, click to FM, like radio, and it just starts blaring through the whole store like everybody's looking at us. I said, well, that works. People didn't know how to turn it on or whatever, but we got it going, and Dave bought it. If he didn't buy it, I would have bought it because it's like, not only is it cool, but it's physically mint. Like there's one in Marketplace right now on Facebook Marketplace. It works, but it's $275. It's missing knobs and everything else. We've seen a sold listing for $3,000 for one of these on Facebook, a functioning one, and this one functions. So crazy. We're going to try to find a place to get it serviced, because even though it works well, we want to get all the gunk, hair, and all that crap taken out of it, right? And then you can get it, new caps put in it and all that. Like, just get it all, you know, gone through. And then it's worth a lot of money. It's worth top dollar because it's like a new ghetto blaster, right? But it's physically mint. Like it'll look cool just on his shelf, and it looked cool with us holding them. I made a little video. Check this out. Whew. We had a great weekend, guys. I finished off moving finally. Thank God. Now I just gotta unpack everything, put it away. It's gonna take me a minute to do that. But we had a great day. The three of us had to go to Kitchener today to take care of something. And Dave showed up this morning. He had coffee for Glenn, hot chocolate for me, and he said, "Here, I got something for you." And he handed me a gift, and it's something that I was showing to you guys that I loved. Like if you check the community post, you'll see that I posted about this. Check this out. I quit 1 of 64 scale, but I will collect customs. Now, I'm going to explain to you guys something in a second here. So, this is a custom, okay? The card was made by our good friend, Chris Savvy. Now, the good thing about customs, guys, now you'll see, I think that's... Oh, right down at the bottom, Savvy Customs, okay? Now, the good thing about customs is it's custom work. You get done what you want to have done. Now, Dave commissioned Chris Savvy of Savvy Customs, our buddy, to do the card. It was similar, like we were looking at OJ ones on eBay, but they weren't nearly this cool. And so he picked out a card, gave Chris ideas. Chris did his magic. I love that it says "the juice is loose" on the top corner of the card. It shows him at the court. Like when I was in high school, the trial verdict was announced. This was a big deal. Like if you grew up in the 90s, this scene is burned in your memory. The original ones we were looked at used a Hot Wheels Ford Bronco casting, okay? I can't remember which one it was, but a couple people pointed out to Dave this one by the G word. I don't want to do the Greenlight, but by that company was just so much closer to the OJ Bronco. So a bunch of us showed it to Dave and said, use this one. It's a hobby exclusive. So the card says Hot Wheels Premium, but I mean, you're not going to use a crappier version of the card because the card says Hot Wheels. You're going to pick the best one, right? Like, that's what I would do. I mean, and yeah, in my opinion, that looks pretty darn cool, and I'm pretty happy to have it. It's real close to the Bronco from the chase, as you can see on the card. So G-Word did it. It's on a Hot Wheels card, but that's the way Dave chose it. I understand why he chose it. It's a custom. It looks awesome. Looks awesome that way. That's why he chose it, plain and simple. And I love it, and I cannot believe he walked in and gave me that. Wow. What, that made my day. Probably because I've been so stressed out, like, the move was non-stop. Like, I went yesterday to hand him what I thought was just handing him my keys, and then we remembered, oh yeah, I didn't empty out the storage lockers, so we had to do that. It was just, it didn't end, but thank God it's over. So anyway, if you remember yesterday's video, me and Glenn went for a real long car ride, and it was for a good reason. We got 4 awesome cars. This is the one I was most excited about. It was the Auto Art Bullitt. Okay, by Auto Art. Now, if you watch my previous video of the Greenlight Bullitt versus the ERTL Bullitt, 1 of 18 scale, I was bitching about this. And just because I own it doesn't mean I'm not going to bitch about it. The color is off. I wish I could take the body off, spray the color, and get rid of these chrome inserts, because it would look much, much better. But other than that, the lines line up perfect. The door is open so smooth. Like, the quality is just... but the video is not about this car. The video is about quality castings. And if you remember, I did a video who made the best Bullitt car, because there's so many different ones. Like, there's an 18 van by Greenlight. There's a Hot Wheels Elite 18 van. There's the Hot Wheels Heritage one in the red box. Like, which one do you pick? Which one's the best? Which one has all the opening doors? So today we're going to talk about the Charger from Bullitt. Now, part of the deal I got for $80, I got the loose ERTL Bullitt. Okay, the one in the silver box. Just like the ERTL Bullitt Mustang, it came in a silver box. For some reason, this thing, if you see it, it's usually $300. I think because there's not many around, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, give me a second, I'll show you. Anyway, this is it. You know I love ERTL. This is the original ERTL Bullitt Charger casting, okay? I think it's beautiful, and most people, when they looked at that sitting beside the Mustang, they know what it is, right? It's pretty obvious, but there are glaring differences. So this is ERTL, like I said, okay? ERTL, just plain ERTL. There's also ERTL Authentics castings, okay? ERTL Authentics is a step up from the regular ERTL. I'll show you one of the boxes, actually. Now, this is by ERTL Authentics, okay? ERTL Authentics is obviously ERTL, but they take it a step further. Like, they're way more detailed. Usually a heavier casting. It's the regular ERTL, but on steroids, as far as details go. Okay, they're just gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 okay? Like, even if you're not a fan of this casting, like, look at that. That's beautiful, right? So, now, like I was saying, the ERTL one, this is the regular ERTL Bullitt. It's gorgeous. And in its box, they're not cheap, okay? Now, a while back, I discovered that you can get an ERTL Authentics Charger black. Comes in the gray box like the one I just showed you. And it's identical to the Bullitt Charger, but it doesn't say Bullitt anywhere on the box. And I was like, wow, that would be the one to have, right? That would be beautiful. But what would the differences be between this one and that one? Like, I was wondering before I got this, if I got this to open, would it have all the same stuff? I'm going to show you all the differences. So this is the old school regular ERTL Charger by Bullitt. Now, this is the one that Glenn got, okay? This is by Greenlight, okay? Greenlight. But when he got it, I looked at the bottom of the box and I said, Greenlight and Auto World. You never see those two on the same box. Greenlight, Auto World, right? And then when we do the unboxing, me and Glenn are looking at it all. I notice how heavy this thing is. I notice on the bottom, ERTL Authentics. It's the same body that the General Lee used. Okay, the Silver Screen Machines General Lee by Auto World, same casting. So I pulled out my General Lee and I started looking at the two of them, and I was like, wow, look at the similarities. They sit the same, got the same fancy hood hinges. I'm not going to get too into it yet, guys, because I'm going to show you guys under the brighter light. But this is just a lot more detail. Technically, it is a Greenlight, this car, but it's that ERTL Authentics casting that sets it over the edge. This thing weighs a ton. And I'm going to show you guys the difference between an ERTL casting and an ERTL Authentics casting. If I had to choose between the two cars, so this ERTL, the regular ERTL is mine, right here. It's beautiful, I love it. Paid 80 bucks for it, I walked away with that. Or Glenn's, the Auto World slash, darn, I'm tired. Oh, the Greenlight slash Auto World, Greenlight slash Auto World, with the ERTL Authentics casting. So I'm going to go up and show you guys the difference with this, okay? Now, most people, like I said, would look at this, think it's beautiful. Wow, it's the BULLITT Charger. But wait till you see the differences between these two. So give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, here we go, guys. So on the right is my old school ERTL BULLITT Charger, okay? On the left is the Greenlight BULLITT Charger, but it was made in conjunction with Auto World, and they used an ERTL Authentics casting. This used a regular ERTL casting, okay? So I'll show you the first big difference. One of my favorite things about the Silver Screen Machines General Lee is the hood hinges. I don't know if that's an ERTL Authentics trademark or an Auto World trademark, but they got realistic hinges. They even make the hinge sound. I love that. I'm taking nothing away from my BULLITT. It uses the regular, like it snaps open and shut beautiful, like does its function, just not realistic, not super realistic. Let's have a look at these two engines. Oh, another thing, huge difference, guys. This one's big. So on the left, Glenn's here. This has the rotating headlights that flip up and down. If you watch the unboxing video I did, like the Silver Screen Machines General Lee, you could turn these over and it reveals the headlights. This doesn't, okay? Not a huge deal, because in BULLITT it was closed anyway, so we keep them closed. On my General Lee, I keep it open just because it looks kind of neat. But no front plate on this one. This one has a front plate. Now let's see here. Do the engines look similar? Never had a real good look at it. Pretty similar, but Glenn's is looking far more detailed. It's got the wiring, alternators, stuff like that. Mine's got the alternator, but doesn't have a lot of the wiring. It's got the little hood latch, realistic on Glenn's. Glenn's also has working suspension. Well, a little bit of suspension anyway, kind of like the Silver Screen General. This does not have any. Show you details of the interiors here. Lens is looking pretty detailed. Mine doesn't look bad, but Glenn's has mine beat with the lap belts, stuff like that. Just little extras that they added to it, eh? Just a little extras. See, it would take a trained eye to see the differences, but that's Glenn's on the left, mine on the right. The fine details on Glenn's are just that much more finer. Also on Glenn's, this is a big one here, guys. Trunk opens, and it reveals the fuel tunnel thing, all that. No trunk opening on the old school ERTL. Also on Glenn's, it's got a bit more realistic exhaust. But again, guys, I love mine here. I wouldn't trade it. Well, I would trade it for one of these, but if I could ever find one affordable. What's that, Glenn?
See if the drive shaft turns.
It doesn't, no. So that was another point, guys, on Glenn's. It's got a rotating drive shaft. If you could see that, it rotates with the tires. This one has oh no, that's not turning. I thought for a second it was turning, but it's not. Regular ERTL non-turning drive shaft. Sorry about the shakiness, guys, but I'll just show you. See, Silver Screen General Lee has that as well. I don't know if it's an ERTL Authentics property or if it is a Auto World property, but awesome feature anyway. Now here comes an important part that I explained to Glenn off camera. Look at the rims, guys, okay? Now these look pretty cool, right? Rally rims, they look close, right? On my ERTL one. They're dead wrong though. You know why? Look at Glenn's. Glenn's looks like hubcaps. They used hubcaps in the actual movie, guys. If you read about it, it's thought that they lost 5 hubcaps during the filming of the movie off the Charger. And you could see some of them lost during the filming. I was telling Glenn, can you imagine being one of those people that caught one of those hubcaps and still have it all these years later? But Glenn brought up a good point. He said they were probably using it as an ashtray or a frisbee back then because it wasn't really supposed to be a big movie. But they got it right here. They actually used hubcaps that looked like the rally rims. See over here, they used the rally rims. They probably thought they were doing it right. But if you're going for movie accuracy, you want the hubcaps. Trying to think of anything else with this. There's a glaring weight difference as well with these, big time. I just actually threw them on my digital scale, guys. My old school ERTL here weighs in at 2 pounds. Exactly 2 pounds. The G-Word Auto World using the ERTL Authentics casting. This monster weighs in at 2.2 pounds. So it's 0.2 heavier, which is noticeable. I thought it would be more than that actually because it's noticeably heavier than the other guy. So let's say you got a high-end Auto Art Steve McQueen Bullitt, the first edition, the nice one. They screwed up the color and they put these little chrome inserts and a couple other things, but it's still gorgeous workmanship and you want something high quality to go with it. This ERTL's decent. It'll do the job, the old school ERTL. But if you're picky and you want the best of the best, either go with the ERTL Authentics Black Dodge Charger that looks just like this. It's got the same hubcaps and everything, not rims, hubcaps. It's the ERTL Authentics. It says Bullitt nowhere on the box, guys. Or go with the Greenlight Auto World that uses the ERTL Authentics casting. And if you're going for the ERTL Authentics casting, which I'll add again, has the flip-up headlights, always look for the ERTL Authentics underneath. You can even see factory overspray. I think that's what that's supposed to be, but beautiful, beautiful detail on this. So you want the best of the best to go with your best of the best? Either this one or the ERTL Authentics straight up black Dodge Charger. That's my opinion on that, guys. Reason I do videos like that and answer questions like that is because it's stuff that I was wondering before I owned these cars. Like I remember going into the Canadian 118 scale diecast group and literally saying, what's the best version of the Smokey and the Bandit? What's the best version of Bullitt? What's the best version? I just gave a listing asking what the best version of each movie car I wanted was, and some of the guys helped me with them. And that's how I learned about the a few of them, like the Shelby Collectibles, Eleanor, for example. I would not have known about that. Yeah, I learned a lot from that group actually. But if you want stuff just to display and you're okay with, Jada stuff like that, those are cool as well. But if you're only going to collect the one thing, go for quality over quantity. Go for the good stuff. That way you're not going to get one and regret it later on. Like I had a bunch of, here it comes. I had a bunch of Greenlight, the 1 of 24 scale. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm trying not to blind you with the lights. I'm going to have to figure out something here. I had the 1 of 24 scale Greenlights, the A-Team van, all that. But I had the greenies, the chases. And now I'm going for the more authentic looking, like, because they didn't have greenies on Dukes of Hazzard or A-Team or anything. In fact, Greenlight didn't make a Dukes of Hazzard generally. I'm just so tired right now, but you get my drift. I wanted the ones that either look great or look as close to accurate as I can get. So I started researching, and that's what I figured I would show you guys. Maybe the next video, I will show you the 3 bullets together, maybe with the auto art. But we've already done Greenlight and ERTL. In my opinion, I still love the ERTL. But I think a good video I might do in the following week is A-Team vans. Because I was on a quest to get the best one. I couldn't afford the Hot Wheels Elite one with the opening back doors. So I wanted the next best one. And I got myself the Greenlight. Yes, I chose the Greenlight over the Hot Wheels 1 of 18 scale with the red box, which is, I believe, called the Heritage or Retro Edition or something. The Greenlight one's nicer than that. Like, the back doors don't open on it or the side doors. The Hot Wheels Elite, though, Glenn picked up kind of a beater. I put them on to for $30, and it's a Hot Wheels Elite. But it's good enough to show you guys the differences and what doors open and what doors don't. And I'll compare it to the Greenlight, and you guys can see, which A-Team van is the best for you. I wish I could have the Hot Wheels Elite A-Team van. I just wasn't going to pay $500 or $600 for it. So I said, you know what? The Greenlight's the next best one. Because the sliding door does open on the Greenlight 1 of 18. So that's what I wanted. Well, there you have it, boys and ladies. Just a little general of what we did this weekend and a little comparison of those cars. Because like I said, when I started collecting, I was wondering what the best ones were to get. And I'm still learning some of them. Like the other day, I seen that Highway 61 made... They didn't do the imports, I don't think, but they made like the blue Yenko Camaro from Fast and Furious. I can only imagine what that's like. But what a great day we had. And after a stressful week, Dave comes over this morning, brings me a hot chocolate, and just there you go with the OJ. That made me feel so much better today. And yeah, he's a good buddy for that. And yeah, he got good karma because he got himself a friggin' boombox that's worth a lot of money and it's in awesome shape. So that's how karma works, guys. Do good stuff for people, good stuff happen for you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button. I'll keep doing what I'm doing and keep it consistent. I won't get lazy and quit YouTube on you. I wouldn't do that. Then I get bored myself, eh? This keeps me out of trouble hanging out with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification if you want to see when my videos are uploaded. And as always, guys, happy hunting.